Super hot. Super hot. Super hot.
Time only moves when you do. Superhot is a first-person shooter unlike any other that perfectly encapsulates the adrenaline of a slow bullet motion action scene. The rules of the original Superhot are the same here, only with a twist of roguelike sprinkled on top. Superhot Mind Control Delete offers more of that action-packed gameplay that many gamers fell in love with.
Super hot.
Superhot Mind Control Delete continues the series' bread and butter of taking out all the enemies in a room and surviving. Not everything is exactly the same though. This new sequel adds in a variety of roguelike features that help keep me on my toes in the early hours of the bullet hell fun. Where the original Superhot had a linear approach with the narrative backing it up, Mind Control Delete leans more towards its gameplay with the vague story taking a step back. There are snippets of lore here and there that play with the self-aware writing that the series is known for. However, what really shines out of the sequel is the new touches to its staple gameplay. Levels are still presented in the first-person shooter perspective. Rooms are covered in white, with all red objects indicating enemies, and anything black-colored is an object you can interact with. What's new is the fact that rooms are predetermined, but the layouts of the enemies, the types of enemies, and the objects around you are all random following a roguelike structure. The randomized nature of the classic gameplay formula added a sense of thrill and tenseness to it that I found so stimulating. The newfound challenge in these scenes was exactly what I wanted after completing the original Superhot. I wanted more Superhot, and more I got. I think it's a play on the meme of wanting more Superhot because even the developers hint at more in their game design, once again adding into the self-aware writing. Along with that challenge are gameplay modifiers in the forms of hacks and cores. Hacks are temporary buffs that can give you some interesting scenarios like starting a level with a random gun or moving faster. These modifiers help keep levels feeling fresh longer, something truly needed as you'll be seeing a lot of these rooms over and over again, just with different hazards. These are new abilities like the power to charge at mid-range enemies, adding onto the action of the gameplay. These are completely new mechanics that blended in smoothly into the already established gameplay. Being able to immediately rush towards an enemy with a weapon always felt invigorating. Perhaps the bolder actions in my part also came from having more chances to live. You see, a health bar modifier is also introduced with the sequel that gives you more chances at individual levels, but fail enough times and you'll have to repeat the whole group of levels all over again. It's forgiving yet challenging, but the biggest takeaway is how repetitive some of these levels can be when you're reliving them over and over again, but with different enemy setups. And sure, the new variations of enemies can help remedy it, and it did, though not completely. Going after these enemies that could only be hurt on specific body parts mixed in with other variations of enemies, I felt a rush of excitement as I looked around every corner for any enemies I was missing, only to be shocked when one was right behind me. That was the pattern for me with this sequel, excitement from the new mechanics and enemies, but somewhat tarnished by the repeating rooms. While the new features outshine the repetitive pattern, it did linger on throughout my time playing.
Super hot.
Continuing on the visual art style of the original game, Superhot Mind Control Delete features a minimalistic design with a mostly two-tone color palette. White colors represent the non-hazardous while the red hues are hazards. Despite the small number of colors, the style choices to make the red colors glow help add some flash to the simplistic look. Apart from just how the game looks, the visual art style goes hand in hand with its gameplay, helping players easily react to interactable objects. It's a visual style adopted by many games with a minimalistic style, from Portal to Mirror's Edge. It works there and it works here too.
Super hot.
There isn't much to critique in terms of audio and music because the game is pretty quiet in terms of dialogue and music. Just about all the sound comes from the hand-to-hand combat and the time-manipulated gunfire. To its credit, it sounds fantastic, along with the oddly satisfying sound of glass shattering, as the enemies do.
Super hot.
Superhot Mind Control Delete is truly what I wanted, more Superhot. And more Superhot it is, but now changed to some degree. The roguelike additions make playing through the campaign a surprise at every corner, except for the reuse of maps that got repetitive after a while. Luckily, the new gameplay modifiers added a layer of newfound strategy that, frankly, I hope continues on with the series. Superhot continues on as one of the most unique games in the genre, and this sequel goes to show how new ideas can only help it.
Super hot. Super hot. Super hot. Super hot. Super